everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa Jones for those that are new here, and today I am filming my 31 and 32 twin pregnancy update. The reason I am filming both 31 and 32 weeks together is mainly just because week 31 was not very different than week 30 or week 32, so there wasn't very much to talk about. But since my week 30 update, I have had to follow up doctor's appointments at McMaster Hospital, and so there's a few updates that I am going to tell you about today, and a couple more symptoms that have popped up since it is now week 32 and a half. So we had an appointment last Thursday for my 31-week checkup, and everything went well. The ultrasound showed both babies are still head down. Both babies scored an 8 out of 8 on the score sheet that they do a couple tests. Basically, they're checking for things like, are their diaphragms moving for practicing breathing? Is there fluid, enough fluid around each baby? Is the blood flow moving through the umbilical cord properly? Are the babies kicking and moving lots? So things like that. Both babies scored an 8 out of 8, which is excellent. They also noticed, well, they actually couldn't check babies' weights because it hadn't been 2 weeks yet. So that sort of brought us to this Thursday. Just yesterday, we had another ultrasound and checkup. Again, both babies did really well with the test. And then in terms of weights, since my last update, baby A was 3 pounds 5 ounces and baby B was 3 pounds 0 ounces. And so they were kind of concerned about baby B's weight not being as different or close to baby A's as they had wanted it to be in terms of a jump from the one ultrasound prior to. So they determined that baby A was 4 pounds 14 ounces approximately yesterday, so quite a big jump. And then baby B went from 3 pounds 0 ounces to 3 pounds 7 ounces yesterday. So in 2 weeks, baby A took a big jump, baby B took a jump, but it wasn't very big, and so they're still slightly concerned that baby A is growing quicker than baby B. I do have di-di twins, which means they cannot get twin-to-twin transfusion where one baby takes all the nutrients from the other baby. However, there is such a thing as one baby just not having as much room or a smaller placenta, or they just are slower in developing. So we aren't sure what the reason is yet, which is why they want to see me again for an ultrasound in 2 weeks, just to confirm baby B is still growing at a good enough rate for his or her development. It might just mean that they're slower than baby A, but if they aren't gaining, then they're going to have to look into what is going on, whether it be that they don't have enough room in there or the placenta is not working the way it should be. So we will be seen in 2 weeks for that, just to confirm. As for baby A, yes, it is quite a big jump for baby A, but they're not going to be worried about it just yet, just because it does sort of make sense. I gained like 3 pounds this week personally, and then it also can differentiate based on who is measuring and then what position the baby's in, they told me. So they could have just been more spread out this week, and so they got a better reading, or the ultrasound tech from last week measured small or this week measured big. That's just always an approximate. So as long as both babies from 2-week checkup to 2-week checkup are measuring where they should be, then they're not concerned. So we'll find out a little bit more about that in 2 weeks. In terms of how I'm feeling, we are no longer checking my cervix physically unless there's any concerns or issues. So far we haven't had any other scares really. I would say maybe Tuesday this week I did notice my contractions were picking up a little bit. They were 5 to 7 minutes apart. They were lasting about 30 seconds to a minute long. So I drank lots of water, got up and did a little bit of walking, and they settled down after about an hour and a half. So went to bed and everything's been fine since. And I did mention that in my appointment this week, and they aren't concerned, so they're not going to check me. It's just going to worry me more to know if I'm more dilated or not at this point. So we're just waiting it out. It's still just a big waiting game. I am still to be off my feet as much as possible, not lifting anything, etc., etc. So I've been trying to do a little bit more walking around and stretching just because I am noticing I'm more uncomfortable and stiff lately. Like I said, I did gain 3 pounds this week. So from weeks 30 to 31, I didn't gain anything, maybe like 8 ounces. And so that's normal. Then of course come week 32, I stepped on the scale and noticed the doctors noticed a 5-pound weight gain, but I was wearing like all my clothes and boots and everything. So in terms of my measurements here at home, it has been a 3-pound weight gain. I'm now at 149 pounds. So a total of 29 pounds, which is officially 1 pound heavier than I was with my daughter's pregnancy, and I am definitely feeling it, but it's all good. I am a part of 2 twin mom group Facebook pages, as well as I follow a couple twin moms on YouTube, and then my girlfriend Emily had twins in November, so we have been comparing notes, and everybody says come week 32, 33, everything sort of goes downhill. And sure enough, I had been feeling totally fine up until week 32 and not terribly uncomfortable per se, but all of a sudden week 32 hit and it was like the aches and pains got worse, the pressure is definitely more intense, I can't get comfortable, the acid refluxes just increased a lot. So I can see why people say it is a sort of turning point. My fundal height is measuring 39 weeks, so basically full term for sure at this point, which makes sense as well. I have noticed the waddling for sure a lot more because both babies are just putting so much pressure on my groin and lower abdomen area. I'm constantly up and down going to the bathroom because it feels like I have to go, and then of course my bladder is empty, but babies are still sitting on my bladder, so that's been kind of annoying because I don't actually have to pee, it's just the babies are right there. Also, the back pain and round ligament pain around the tummy is definitely increased, and then also the skin stretching has been something I've noticed a lot this week. So with that has come a little bit of itchiness and irritation, but I've been still using my stretch mark creams and oils in the morning and at night, so no stretch marks yet, but I am definitely noticing some stretching going on for sure, so hopefully none pop up, but those have been my main symptoms, I would say, for week 32. And they did check my cervix via ultrasound. They did a transperineal measurement, which just means they put the wand over top of the cervix as opposed to inserting the wand inside, and they did still see it funneling. It was going from a 2.4 to a 1.2, but again, because I'm already 2 centimeters dilated, this dynamic cervix of mine doesn't mean anything at this point because we already know it's there, and we're already doing everything we can to treat it. So they're not terribly concerned about that. They don't want me to come back until my contractions pick up or my water breaks or there's bleeding or any changes that way. So as of right now, crossing my fingers, thanks to all the thoughts and prayers, we are still pregnant. We are not in labor, and they don't know why it happened and stopped the way it did, but it did. So we're just praying for a little bit more time so that the babies can stay inside and keep cooking and gaining weight, because we are at the goal, the first goal, which was 32 weeks for me personally. So if we can make it another 2 to 4 weeks at least, I will be so happy. I've also noticed, because of all these good changes, I am not nearly as anxious or stressed, and even if the babies were to come at this point in time, I feel very good knowing that they're at a good point development-wise, that they would be okay and they'd survive. Yes, we'd have some NICU time, but like I said, we're at McMaster, which is a world-renowned children's hospital. We're in good hands either way. And so I'm not terribly concerned anymore. I'm not terribly anxious or stressed anymore. And so we're just gonna ride this out and see how far we make it. It's a day-by-day thing. And so we're gonna go from there. I did measure my belly all the way around again this week. We are at 43 inches, I believe. So things are definitely progressing, which is great. I feel like it's, with pregnancy, especially towards the end, it's a bunch of just complaining symptoms, but so far I've been very lucky to have had only a couple little bumps in the road in terms of stress and stuff, but I'm feeling good otherwise. So we are going to just pray for a couple more weeks at least, and I will film another update probably next week unless there's like no changes. And if not, in 2 weeks for sure. And then I'll just do a quick little belly bump update for you guys here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to follow us along this journey. And again, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye guys. So this is the belly bump from the front and the side. Definitely growing this week.